Greetings. This is Governor Herrera. I hope you and your family are doing well. Today I will be talking about schools' reentry plans as they are presented to tribal leadership. I have received and reviewed a draft back to school reentry plan from the Grant-Cebolla County School District. And the draft plan consists of 4 options. Option A being 100% in person, which is a traditional classroom. Option B, 50% in person and 50% virtual. Option C, 25% in person and 75% virtual. And option D, which is a 100% virtual classroom. Here are my concerns to these options. There is still a lot to consider along with so much uncertainty. As the presentation was being made to staff officers, these particular items came to mind. First, students with individualized educational programs, also known as IEPs. We need to make sure these students are provided the opportunity to successfully carry out their educational plans and that parents continue to have access to support as needed. If the student is on an IEP, I ask you to keep those in mind. Second, transportation in reference to student bus rides and drop-offs. I still have concerns and questions on how this can be implemented safely to include social distancing practices and how will Grant-Cebolla County Schools ensure disinfecting of buses. Can this be done on a constant basis? Or if students are carpooling, is this still considered a safe practice as a mode of transportation for getting our students to school? Third, this concerns the classroom transitions. Will students be asked to transition from classroom to classroom throughout the day? If so, what is the safety procedure in place to make sure the classrooms are sanitized before each use, and how can we ensure consistency is taking place? From June 26, 2020 to July 3, 2020, a survey was conducted to assist with gathering information from stakeholders to identify accessibility to internet services and electronic equipment, what entry models they would prefer and be comfortable with. Stakeholders included parents, guardians, students, teachers, tribal Pueblo officials, district school administrators, district school support staff, and others. A total of 582 responses were collected, and of that, 456 were parents and guardians. In addition, 44% of stakeholders were in favor of 100% full virtual reentry to school. Lastly, this draft plan with the recommended option was presented to the Grant-Cebolla County School Board on Tuesday, July 14th. Unfortunately, someone hacked into this meeting and the meeting was ended abruptly. At this time, the outcome of the meeting is unclear. The final step for Grant-Cebolla County Schools will be submitting the plan to the New Mexico State Department of Education Department for acceptance, which is taking place today. I understand the decision-making process which is in place for the school districts and their boards. I am not clear on how the state will decide or dictate the school option for a particular sector of the state. Will the state decide based on the current COVID-19 situation in a certain sector as to what option of school will be allowed? How much say and decision do tribes have? How much say and decision do parents and guardians have? Do they have a right to not send their children or grandchildren to school if they deem it not safe. Pueblo of Laguna can decide for the Laguna Department of Education system not to have school yet. However, if we do this, are we in violation since we receive federal funding? We need to hurry to find answers and weigh all our options. I favor we delay school and monitor how others engage in school and see how they are faring and if it can be done or not. My hope is that the state public education department will accept the Grant Sabola County Schools recommended option. I'll provide an update next week on the outcome. In addition, I will provide an update for the LDOE reentry plan at the end of the month after their plan is presented to staff officers and tribal council. Please remember, at this time, the 2020 census is taking place. The deadline has been extended to October 31st. Pueblo of Laguna is at a 17% completion rate now. These numbers help the Pueblo to obtain true representation, including realignment of districts, seats in the House of Representatives, funding to include SNAP benefits, Medicare and Medicaid, school lunch programs, elder programs, housing and infrastructure. For every person not counted, the Pueblo loses $3,700 in funding per year. You may fill out the questionnaire the numerator dropped off at your home last week and mail it back in the envelope provided in the packet. You may also respond by phone or online. In the weeks to come, the census team will be providing updates and incentives to complete your questionnaire. The Pueblo continues to monitor the state's response to the COVID-19 health crisis. I have closely followed Governor Grisham's video updates as it pertains to schools and fall sports. She has stated that school reopenings depend on our state containing the virus. Our students, educators, and families must be safe, and I support this statement as well for our Laguna community. Concerning fall sports, no contact sports will be permitted this fall, to include football and soccer, and other non-contact sports are under review and will likely have delayed starts to seasons. And to be clear, fall sports will not happen if schools cannot reopen. New Mexico must get back on track, and we have to be a part of this solution here at the Pueblo as well. The EOC team has been receiving increased reports of people traveling out of state for various reasons. Please remember, the state of New Mexico has a travel restriction in place which requires anyone coming to New Mexico from out of state to quarantine for 14 days. The Pueblo will honor and adopt the same restriction. If you or a family member travels out of state, you will be expected to quarantine upon return. Our neighboring states are experiencing an unprecedented outbreak of COVID-19 positive cases. We need to be cautious about our travel decisions. The EOC continues to provide testing and monitoring of cases and contact tracing. In recent days, we were made aware of exposures to employees at the Route 66 campus, specifically employees at Thunder Road and at Stadium 66 venues. LDC management and the Pueblo EOC have taken all necessary steps in contact tracing and investigating. Thunder Road has been able to reopen with no further cases identified. The COVID safe practices implemented by LDC have proven effective in this case. At this time, we have administered 1,684 tests with 23 pending, 1,640 negative, 27 positives, and gratefully 9 recovered with 1 hospitalization. So with that, as of today, we have 18 active cases within the Pueblo. For a breakdown of these cases, please visit the Pueblo website. We will continue to provide you with this weekly update. The virus has not gone anywhere. It is still with us, and we cannot let our guard down. As Governor Grisham has stated, the only way we will get back to leading the lives we want to live is by pulling together. So let's be a part of this effort as well. Please do not gather in groups. Wash your hands, wear a mask if you go out in public, and stay at home to the greatest extent possible. Keeping in mind that every time you leave your home, it's a risk. I wish you all well and be safe, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.